And he's like, I didn't even say it.
man.
Like someone just said he said it.
That's like a modern day witch hunt.
Yeah. Like literally like Emmett Till like kind of shit. Like, you know, I mean, not as vicious, but like still right there. I mean, but still right there. Like, I mean,
why do people always gotta use black struggle to compare their shit? Just
no, because
you ain't gotta bring up black people.
Everybody that struggles always
the
gotta
thing
take
is,
our
He
schematic.
doesn't.
No,
Why
but
he
it
bring up
does
his
because
just now?
no,
We
because
see this shit was fucked up. We don't gotta bring up.
But when I saw
Exactly.
that was a shocking moment. That's when I went into.
It was just like when they shot Dr. King. It was just like when they assassinated Malcolm X. It's like, no, nigga, fuck what? So yesterday I was listening to this new podcast that just dropped on the comedian Godfrey's podcast, right? In Godfrey We Trust. And they have this Indian co-host, and he says something kind of crazy about Emmett Till, man. I wanted to react to this with you because it shows you how immigrants, a lot of times, but it's not just immigrants, white people do this as well. They downplay black history. They downplay black struggle. They downplay just the evil shit that has happened to black people across the Americas, man, especially in the United States of America. So let's go ahead and check this out.
Did you see the shit that happened in Bangladesh, bro?
Yeah, she's a whack bitch for doing that.
Yeah.
What'd
Yeah,
you
that's
say?
corny.
Did you see the shit that happened in Bangladesh?
No.
They lynched a dude because he
Yeah,
said
they
something.
burned him because he was Hindu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he don't believe in God and they lynched him.
What is up with
Yeah.
India?
Let me not go.
Bangladesh. That's in Bangladesh.
Interesting. First of all, notice how he's describing it. He's describing it as a lynching that happened in Bangladesh, though. So the definition of lynching is the extrajudicial killing of a person by a mob carried out without a legal trial or due process. It is typically done as a form of vigilante punishment, intimidation, or racial terror. It is most associated with the late 1800s through the mid 1900s, especially in the Jim Crow South, primarily targeted black Americans, often based on false accusations or minor alleged offenses. The last thing you should know is that the term comes from this guy, right? It's named after this guy, lynching. Charles Lynch. He died in 1796. He was a Virginia planter, a militia officer, and a local magistrate during the American Revolutionary War. His name is commonly cited as the origin of the term lynch law, which later evolved into lynching. During the Revolution, Lynch organized informal punishments against suspected British loyalists. His actions were later retroactively approved by the Virginia legislature, reinforcing the idea of extrajudicial community justice. So essentially, the Virginia legislature said, even though the people that you lynched and punished, you did so based merely on the suspicion that they were British loyalists, they didn't have a trial, there was no due process, we are sanctioning those actions retroactively. What this did was normalize the idea that the community has the power and the right to exercise its own form of vigilante justice against people that the community is suspicious of or has already determined to be guilty of a crime, even though there has been no true investigation, no due process. And so when this later evolves after the abolition of slavery, because before the abolition of slavery, most of the people who would be lynched were white people. It wasn't black people. Why is that? Because slaves were property. Slaves were worth money. And the only thing that these white supremacists cared more about than themselves was their money. And that is still the case till this day. The white supremacists will sell out the poor whites or just any other white person if it means they can make a quick buck. Well, after the abolition of slavery and black people were no longer owned by these white supremacists and they were no longer assets, well then, they were now, of course, hunted and targeted and demonized. And of course, that is still going on till this day. And it was at that point that lynching became more associated with the unjust murdering of black people. I point that out to say, yes, it is true. Throughout human history, mobs have gone together and have killed people based on their own determination of justice. But the term lynching is specific. It is specific to American history and the treatments of blacks. And this is how this Indian co-host begins to try and it's the same. It's the same. It's not the same. It is not a lynching. A lynching is racially motivated.
Did you see the shit that happened in Bangladesh?
No.
They lynched a dude because he said
they
something.
burned him because he was Hindu.
Yeah. He said he don't believe in God and they lynched him.
See, he said it twice. He's really pushing this whole, it's a lynching. It is not a lynching.
What is up with India?
That's
Bangladesh. That's in Bangladesh, bro.
What's going on?
I sent that to you, right?
That was fucked up.
Bro,
I sent the video to him too.
Bro.
Why?
I did, bro. The
right
cops
there? Oh.
cops handed him over to the mob. That's the fucked up part.
Really?
Those are the cops. He was crying like they.
And even here in the text, they're calling it a lynching. It is not a lynching, right? It is not
Literally.
a lynching.
That's wicked.
Yeah. And those are cops. They're like Bangladeshi cops.
I mean, we know cops aren't good.
That's terrible to even see, like, the fear.
Come with me. Come with me. I got a fire. And they killed him?
Yeah, they lynched him and then they burned his body.
Wow. That one right there.
Yeah.
Because he didn't believe
in God.
Because he didn't believe in the same imaginary
I mean, he didn't
friend
even
as them.
say it. Like they claimed he said it. And he's like, I didn't even say it.
man.
Like someone just said he said it.
That's like a modern day witch hunt.
Yeah. Like literally like Emmett Till, like kind of shit. Like, I mean, not as vicious, but like still right there. I mean, but still right there. Like, I mean,
why do people always gotta use black struggle to compare they shit? Just
No, because
Everybody that struggles always
the
got to
thing
take
is-
our
He
schematic.
doesn't.
No,
Why
but
he
it
bring
does
up Till
because
just now?
no,
We
because
see this shit was fucked up. We don't gotta bring up.
But when I
Exactly.
saw that was a shocking moment. That's when I went into like researching like why the fuck.
Y'all don't always
No,
gotta
but
bring
like-
up our shit.
But it wasn't-
It was just like when they shot Dr. King. It was just like when they assassinated Malcolm X. It's like, no, nigga, fuck, what? You see, it's crazy because brother right here, he gave a perfect one-to-one comparison with something that has actually happened in American history, which is, of course, the Salem witch trials. Or, American history is filled with white Christians killing other white Christians because they weren't the right kind of white Christian, right? That's what that's like. In Bangladesh, you got a bunch of Bangladeshi people persecuting other Bangladeshi people because they are not believing in the same fucking spiritual shit, right? That's the same. That's what it would be. Trying to compare this to Emmett Till, it's like it was just like 9/11. It was just like slavery. It's like, no, nigga, no. This is what is going on here? All right, let's continue.
It's like
It wasn't even similar
no, they
to Emmett
lynched him,
Till.
right? I mean, they
Is that
literally.
not annoying,
You're
y'all?
saying it's the same as Emmett Till?
It's not the same
It's,
at all.
At
like
all.
it's a
Not
religious
even
thing. Like he
That's why
believes
you
in
bringing
something,
him
but like
up.
No, but
Emmett Till was killed from a white woman.
I mean, he's
fucking
younger.
wife.
He's a little kid, and that's
But
what
no,
really
Emmett
fucked up.
Till, that's another level.
But like-
of white
Yeah, I just don't
women.
see
but
why
like-
you even brought him up.
But like when they literally lynched
It's
him
not
and they
the
burned
same
his
thing.
body.
It's horrible, but it's
I mean,
not
it's
the
like
same as
that.
Emmett
I'm
Till.
not
It's not
saying
like
it's
that.
No, it's
No,
not
like
like
that.
that.
Literally, you
though.
take
It's
a
really
person-
not.
Okay,
It's
go
not
on.
like
Explain
that.
why.
Bro.
Bro, you take a person, bro. When you like, those kind of things, like they stay in history because people, like when I wanted to when I understood, literally when I went in depth into understanding black struggle in this country, that was the triggering point. When I heard about it, I was like, what the fuck?
But it's not like
You know,
the same
But they're
thing.
not even
But-
in
but
the
like,
same. They're not even in the same vein.
No.
But
You
it's
compare-
it's
they're
it's
both
not.
they're both
You take a
tragedies.
person-
And the point, another thing is, you didn't have to even compare it to nothing.
because for
Right.
me, when I saw that,
That's
I was
the
like,
gag.
wow, like modern day, like when that happened in
They
1960s.
lynched motherfuckers in Alabama.
Yeah.
They
Bro, this nigga just did that cricket noise with his mouth. Did you see that shit? That I thought the first time I listened to this shit, I thought somebody hit like a special effects button. You feel me? Like I got one of them shits too. You know, this nigga made that sound with his mouth.
Like,
compared to nothing.
because for me, when I saw that,
That's
I was
the
like,
gag.
wow, like, in modern day, like, when that happened in
They
1960s.
lynched motherfuckers in Alabama.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They just lynched motherfuckers in Alabama. There's a few lynches that have gone on presently.
But
Since
also,
the
they
Trump
didn't
era,
lynch him
there's a
because
bunch
of his. They didn't lynch
he's
him because he's
arrested.
Indian or
Oh,
whatever.
they lynched him because of his religion, right? Like,
Guys
basically.
keep
With
talking
religion.
about
Wait,
that.
wait, 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 wait.
Religious persecution is very different than killing somebody because of the color of their skin. You see, when you live in a society and you know that the society you live in, you're not allowed to be an outspoken atheist, you have 100% control over whether or not people know you're an atheist. You could just pretend to be a believer. You don't have to spread your beliefs. If you don't live in a country where you're going to be protected, well then, you're supposed to shut the fuck up and not say that shit. You don't have to end up in this situation. But Emmett Till was killed for no other reason than an evil white woman just one day decided to make up some bullshit story, and then this young boy was kidnapped out of his house and brutally beaten and tortured and then ultimately murdered. And then the men who did it got off scot-free. That is the story in a nutshell of Emmett Till. Emmett Till could not have done anything differently to have a different outcome on that day. And even if he did the thing that she alleged he did, which she then admitted on her deathbed that she made it up and it was a fucking lie, so he didn't even do this shit. But even if he did do that shit, do you know what the crime was that he committed? Allegedly, he whistled at a white woman. That's it. Emmett Till was killed in 1955, bro. 10 years before the civil rights law was enacted. This is what we're talking about. So when guys like Charlie Kirk and these fucking white supremacist evil bastards say shit like, oh, we didn't need things like the Civil Rights Acts. There was no problem going on in America in regards to race and racism. Black people were thriving. In 1955, white men were getting away with kidnapping black boys out of their homes based off of a false accusation of a white woman murdered, and then the men got away with that shit scot-free, bro. That was less than 100 years ago, bro. You get that? If you've never seen pictures of Emmett Till, go look it up. Go look at what they did to this boy. In 1956, the two men responsible for murdering Emmett Till, by the way, Bryant and Malam, publicly confessed to the murder in a paid interview with Look magazine, facing no legal consequences. These men got away with murder, bro. They admitted that they did that shit and they got away with it. That was 70 years ago, bro. There are people alive today in their 70s and their 80s that were and their 90s, bro. There are people alive today who were in their 20s when this happened. This just happened like not too long ago, bro.
Oh, they lynched him because of his religion, right? Like,
Exactly.
basically,
Keep
Wait,
talking.
but if he didn't say,
you just find something
You give me
that
some more
different.
water?
They didn't lynch Emmett Till because of his religion.
But
No, they lynched him because of his skin color.
no,
They
It's like-
lynched him because
Oh,
a
'cause of
white
his skin
woman
color?
said that he whistled.
Yeah, here it's like they lynched
but
him
listen,
because
but
someone
Vistu,
accused him of something.
But Vistu, the issue is Emmett Till was born black. You are not born of religion. You're not born Muslim. You're not born. I mean, whatever. But you're
you
not
can be born into it, but you're not born.
But when you are a minority, you are a minority, and you're like people take you and
But
like
comparing that,
Bro,
comparing what happened to Emmett Till,
people are born into
to
the
what
religion.
happened to
Lot
this
of times-
guy, it's not. They're not. It's like apples.
it was an unnecessary comparison to begin with. Like you didn't
No,
have to
because
bring this
for
shit up
me,
at all. Like,
well,
I just
bro,
don't understand
when I saw
Well,
this,
why
that's
did you
what
make this
that
comparison?
came to my
get
mind
it.
because that came to my mind.
Why did that?
That literally came to my mind when I was like,
Why-
when
I was falling
because it's
asleep.
like
That shit
they
woke me up in anger.
I see. Why did you make that comparison?
Because for me, when I saw Emmett
wants to stress
Till,
me out.
that boiled me. I'm not black.
Godfrey
But when I
was
saw
gonna do?
what they did to a human being, it boiled my blood. And that's when I went dug into.
I understand.
Because when I
But
moved
you're
to
not
America,
telling
I
me
didn't.
that. You're not
explaining
So
why.
this is a
That's bullshit, bro. A lot of things can make you upset. Well, that shit pissed me off, just like how this shit pissed me off. It's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing, bro? And comparing the two, you're minimizing the one that's obviously way worse. But it's not even just about, who got it worse, who got it bad. That's not what black people are even really getting at when they get triggered by people doing shit like this. It's because what you're trying to do here, when you do shit like this, when you minimize the injustices that were committed against black people, you're also trying to minimize the crime that has been committed and is still being committed by a white supremacist power structure, by the American government, in the sense that no justice has been given to black people in this country, to black Americans specifically. The American government is an entity, like a corporation, like a person. It was born in 1776 and it is still living till this day. The American government can be sued. In fact, the American government sues people. The American government takes your money and it in the form of taxes and then uses that money as it deems fit. The American government is essentially a person, and that person committed a crime against millions of black people for hundreds of years. And not just the crimes of inhumane treatment and brutality and violence, but the crime of profiting off of the labor of people without compensation. This is the foundation for the argument for reparations. When blacks talk about receiving reparations from the US government, it is not a handout. It is not saying, hey, you guys should feel bad for us because you did this really fucked up shit to us or to our ancestors, and so as a way of saying sorry, you should give us some money or give them some money, right? Because I do believe it is important to distinguish. I am a black immigrant living in America. My ancestors were not enslaved in America. They were enslaved in Jamaica, and so my peoples really should be getting reparations from the British government. But that's a whole different conversation. This is why the US government has been very careful to never apologize for slavery. Because if it did, it would be acknowledging fault, it would be acknowledging guilt in a crime that it committed against people, which it clearly understands it did, otherwise it would not have abolished slavery, nor would slavery be this concept that is demonized and seen as a crime against humanity in America. And so when people try to downplay the various injustices that have been done against black people in this country, what they're trying to do is minimize the legitimacy of the argument for reparations in some capacity, some form of reparations, some form of justice being served.
What made you make the connection is what I want to know.
Because they lynched him and they burned him. A mob took a person, an innocent person, and he's begging for his life, and they lynched him and burned his body.
It was Instagram.
My question is why?
Because
you're not answering the question.
Okay.
Let me ask the question. What is why did you make a connection between Emmett Till and this guy?
Thank you, baby.
Because that was the most brutal thing I ever heard in my life, and
What,
then now I
Emmett
see
Till?
some Emmett Till, and then now
we got way worse.
I know, but like for me, seeing a 14-year-old kid being treated like that triggered me. And now I see this, I'm like, wow, like this is like 2025.
Anytime you make that comparison, and anytime you've ever made that comparison on this show or otherwise, where you've made this, just like us, where you talk about Indians and let me finish.
Yeah.
And you make that is how I feel every time you make that connection.
Why is
every
that?
time when you try to tell us about white supremacy as if we didn't experience.
But it's struggle, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah, bro, like
Because why systematically and some struggle is.
Bro, this is the same. Okay, I'm not saying it's not the same. I never said it's the same
I
thing.
clocked out the conversation.
You can't clock out of it.
No, I can't.
I didn't say it's the same thing. It's like that. Like when you take a human being
If you're
and a mob literally.
I don't. But you're still not saying what made the connection. You
Because
think,
in my mind, bro, I'm not systematically sitting there like, oh, how do I compare this? When I saw it,
Do you know who
came to my
Amadou
mind.
Diallo is?
Literally, like right now, I didn't even think about it before. I saw it.
You know who Amadou Diallo was?
do you know
No.
Sandra
Diallo.
Bland? Do you know Eleanor
Or Sean
Bunkers?
Bell?
Do you know Sean Bell? Do you know?
Bro,
I mean,
that's
what I'm
They
saying
were
to you
all.
is-
How were they?
But-
what's the similarities?
What I'm saying is,
I don't know
this
them
is
all.
a situation that has happened to Black. This is the common face for like this is this because it bleeds, it leads because it's an Indian dude that has.
No, it's not. It's not an Indian dude. It's a Bangladeshi dude. He's just
Well,
that.
in that same area.
No, but
man.
it's a different country.
Yo,
But you take a
you
human
guys,
being,
come on now.
bro. That's an
You aren't
Islamic.
that far
Bro,
from
that's
each
an
other.
Islamic country,
It's all
bro.
burle.
Bro, that's an Islamic country. That's an Islamic country where there's such a minority. And
What are the super chats saying right now?
Wait, boogly.
bro.
Wait, hold
on
on.
my side, I don't care what-
Listen,
Yeah.
whether
Yeah,
it's
some super chats would be nice.
whether it's Sri Lanka, whether it's Bangladesh, whether it's Pakistan and India,
Bro, that's kind of racist when you say that because it's like you're
everybody's
not
eating naan bread and rice and motherfucker.
Bro, you want me
I
to
love that. Listen.
see, like I understand like black people struggle, but you refuse to understand our struggle.
you don't.
Wait.
We
First
don't.
of all,
We do-
you
we-
have
you do not-
contributed
you
to
have-
black struggle.
No, we didn't.
Indians.
Yes, you
No,
have.
no.
Yes, yes.
Are you
we were
serious?
never part of that.
What?
We never had slavery.
No, I'm not talking about that. There's so many components to black atrocities.
Bro.
Hold on. There's other races that are fucked up to Africans and Caribbeans and shit like that. You know what I mean? Indians have been in the Caribbean.
Before.
Hold on.
Yeah.
They've contributed. Asians have contributed
Still
to
contribute.
black atrocities. And by black people letting them have the freedom to come and open up businesses. They bring their businesses into black neighborhoods,
Yes.
shit on the black
Yep.
people,
Bro, you're talking
dehumanize the
about-
black people.
Yep.
Even though you
We're
guys
talking
have
about two different
hold
things.
on. Even though you guys
talking about two different things,
No,
though.
we're not.
No.
No,
Yeah.
we're not.
You're talking about people
I've
that
studied this
migrated
shit
here.
too long.
People
Nah.
that migrated
you
here.
cannot fuck with me on this
People
kind of
that
knowledge.
migrated here and decided they want to
Listen,
be like white. Those are
listen,
different people.
listen,
I'm talking about people that are in
listen.
India.
You're not-
Because
listen.
even before British came,
Listen.
India and Africa were huge trade partners.
Listen. We all know that. But not everybody knows that history, first off. They don't go and study. They'd rather stay ignorant. Another thing is dark-skinned Indians are discriminated against
The same
with
way
light
these
skin,
Somali
and that
guys
is
were like,
white
I'm not
supremacy.
black.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
white supremacy. So think
But-
about
but
that,
we get
how
dumb-
Indians are going to be when they see black people. I've been in Dunkin' Donuts dealing with these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I've been in Dunkin' Donuts arguing with
But
these
see, you-
motherfuckers at 5 in the morning because they're being fucking rude
Yep,
to me.
yep.
Because I'm black. They just,
Because
all of a
they
sudden,
don't-
they're just
they
fucking
do
rude.
it
So-
because part of your
You know what I'm saying?
patriotism means that you treat black people like shit.
No. That's
Great point.
patriotism
Yeah.
means
To America
that
or
you
India?
assimilate
Yeah.
to the.
I didn't say all of India,
You
bro.
you
Yeah.
assimilate to the position
no. I'm talking
of
about.
power.
See, like for me,
Yes.
coming from South India,
This is a part of it, man. It's just like how when you want to fit in with the cool kids, if you notice the cool kids like to bully this one guy, and let's say you're not a bully. Let's say that's not you. If it was just you and that guy in that room, you wouldn't be messing with him. But because you are trying to be in this clique, at the very least, when they are cracking jokes and bullying this person, you laugh. You know what I'm saying? They want to hang out with you. Oh, nah, you don't sit with them. You don't want to be seen with them. Why? Because the people higher up on the totem pole that you want to be cool with, you don't want them to see you associating with them. Now they starting associating y'all together. So I'm not going to help you with shit. Don't talk to me. Don't try and sit beside me. Don't be my friend. It's nothing personal, but shit, nigga, I'm trying to be good with these people. That's what essentially immigrants do when they move here, especially the non-black ones, but even the black ones. Being racist against black people is a part of the assimilation process.
I get the double-edged sword because not only am I looked down because of my skin color, they also look down on me because I don't belong to their religion. So it's like I get hated by everybody.
Well, you don't get
You know-
more
No,
hate
you
than
don't.
we do.
You don't.
No,
get
I'm not
hated.
saying. I'm not comparing.
I know,
I'm talking
yeah.
about
And-
being hated.
But you
So I
did
understand
compare.
how it
But
feels.
a person like yourself,
Yeah.
who gets discriminated against because people that are not white get shit on. Well, whites shit on whites.
Yeah.
Okay, rich, what? Okay. But people that Asians get shit on. Their history's so fucked up with white folks, but they run up their asses and shit on black people. All of the people that suffer call us.
Everybody.
All the people that get shit, they'll call you sand niggas.
I know.
But you will turn around and call black people niggas, and you'll drive. Wait. The cab drivers will be rude to us, drive past us.
Won't pick us up.
After whites have shit on you, colonized you, you still think
same
black people are the problem,
You do the
and black
same
people
thing.
haven't done a motherfucking thing
I'm not
to you.
disputing that at all.
In general, I'm saying
not
black
disputing
people
that at all.
haven't done shit. They just exist, and they've been taught because my Vietnamese friends, fresh off the boat from Laos, Cambodia, they live next door to me. I would ask them. My father was buying clothing for these motherfuckers. My parents were buying them clothing. Those were my friends. They were fresh off the boat, barely knew English. Cambodia.
Taught already.
And I was like, they told me my friend Dom, Duke, all of them. I said, so why you say me dang mean in Vietnamese means black American. Me dang. I said, why you say that? We come here and they tell us in office, they stay away from me, the black people. The black people, they steal your stuff.
Wow.
They just said it to them in the office.
Yeah.
These are white officials.
Yeah.
Watch the blacks. Blacks. And then I was like, but we're your best buddies. Like we're giving you
Literally
clothing.
helping
Black
you.
people.
Right.
They say, I know. That's why we confuse.
When they
say,
go, you assimilate. We want you to come to this country and assimilate. The assimilation into patriotism is to hate black people. That is part of the assimilation.
Yeah.
You can't come here and be, if you're not a patriot, if you don't hate black people and you don't treat black people. And that's not you specifically.
Yeah, I see
that's
what you're saying.
Indians,
Everybody,
Asians, and every immigrant.
Everyone that moved here.
So I'll link to the full podcast down below in the description if you want to continue to hear them talk about these things. But I just wanted to watch that little segment with y'all, man. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and until next time, peace out.